Um, so the wandering part, let's get back to that. The wandering part comes from every time I try to pursue the Lord, it wouldn't work out long term. And so, as I said, I'm a person of focus. Like, as if things ain't working, I'm done. I'm gone. I'm not going to stand around and chit chat. If it's over, it's over. And I have had times where I tried to really hold on to things. It doesn't work. So I became this person who's like, whatever. Try again, do something else. So I pursued at different churches at throughout my life, several churches for sure, to get back into the ministry. And it always seemed like I had to have man's authority. I had to have man's okay. And I was like, it's interesting to me how these preachers got into the ministry. And I come up here and I'm like, hey, I want to do the Lord's work. And they're like, well, do you have an education? I was like, no, I don't have a formal education. And they're like, okay, well, and then, it depends on, oh, wow, things in them. I don't know technology. Technology's weird. But it literally, like, it zoomed in when I grabbed my beard. That is like, I don't know. That was really weird. Now it's like super focused on me. Sorry. Maybe I can edit that out. I don't know. So I wandered from church to church, trying to find the Lord. Was I living 100% right? No, nobody is. I promise you, you can look at the preachers all day and they look great. They're standing there and got the great messages and stuff. Paul said, I die daily. He might not have been sinning, but he was fighting sin at the door. Okay. Like, he wouldn't have said certain things if it wasn't real in his life. And Paul was the kind of person that said, I've been to my music. Hold on a second. My music is gone. I know what happened to my music. I paused it because it's Frank Forrest with Good Day. And I'm sitting here babbling on. I stopped it so you guys could hear this song because I love this song. Now, if it's louder than I am, then, well, it is a bit loud. Let's turn it down. There we go. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. I will check the video later to be sure. Um, so I went from church to church. That wasn't where I really figured out this whole thing, but things happened again in life, personal things, and I went on the road truck driving. I was trying to truck drive off and on throughout my life since I was 21. I did do some truck driving. A lot of times it was local, and I made some money. We really didn't make a lot of money, and then like I said, personal things happened again. And so then I was like, you know what? I applied for lots of jobs and nothing really worked out. And so I was like, I applied for a job driving over the road as a truck driver, and I took off. It worked out, and I went and did it. Did that off and on 100%, like literally from either one trucking job to another one, or stayed at that job for 3 years. And got to see a lot of places. It was really nice. A place to go. Out there driving and seeing things. You really only get to stop at places. They kind of like advertise that a lot, where they're like, hey, come see the world. You get to see it at 70 miles an hour. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, that was nice. You know, that's truck driving. So they promote, hey, you get to see the world. No, that load's got to get there. You ain't got time to stop. So as you drive by something such as the in St. Louis, the Arch, St. Louis, Missouri. Like, oh, that's crazy. You know, that's how you get to see it. And like Niagara Falls, like I never went by Niagara Falls. I went to New York plenty of times. I never got to go by Niagara Falls. I got to see the Great Lakes. I got to see literally the Gulf of Mexico. I got to see uh the ocean on the East Coast, the Atlantic. Um uh I never got to see the Pacific Ocean. I never went all the way to California, but a couple of times in my truck driving career, and we never got on the coast. But I did get to see three sides of the U.S. You know, I went all the way up to Maine one time, all the way up to the Canadian border. I didn't go into Canada, but I went to the very tip top of Maine. Like if you'd have went in like another 10 miles, you'd have been in Canada. So I did get to do a lot of fun stuff. It was interesting. I ate at a lot of cool places. You know, a lot of good food. Um, but getting to the wandering and the one in 99, we're fixing to switch to that story. Uh, I was on the road. I was living my life how I wanted to. No, I weren't doing any drugs. I weren't drinking. Um, you know, I wasn't doing anything that would be looked at as you can't do that kind of look. But one thing I definitely was not doing is I wasn't serving the Lord. I wasn't reading my Bible. I wasn't going to church. I wasn't listening to anything like steady as far as Christian music. I listened to whatever, like all kinds of stuff, lots of heavy metal stuff that really like gets you feeling a certain way, like you're just like, oh, I got to get this load done. I'm so mad. I'm so upset. Music will focus you. And if you're listening to the wrong stuff, it'll focus you in the wrong direction. I believe that 100%. If you're listening to Christian music, then you'll fall in love with God. You listen, like Caleb always says about listening to their music and how their lives have been changed and stuff. And I'm playing Pandora right now. Thank God for free Pandora. Oh my gosh. I listen to so much music from Pandora, and now it's all Christian music. It's literally I switch between so many Christian artists. I love them all. They're all amazing. Their stories are great. Um,